Christmas. I wanted to do a quick video today just to get one up on my game of the year 2022. And of course, I'm going to have a list of games here, not many, but ones that I've played that I thought were absolutely incredible. And then at the end, I'll tell you which one I think is my personal game of the year. So the first would be Horizon Forbidden West. This took everything from the original and added so much more to it. The sense of exploration and the openness of the world. And there was almost like three games in here. One above ground where you're exploring, and then underwater it was just as large as above ground. All the exploration, once you get the breathing masks, it was unbelievable. And then finally, flying. There were parts of the world that you couldn't get to unless you could fly. And just getting that and flying around the entire map, it was just really amazing. I found it to be so engrossing. I put over 100 hours into this game. I go back now sometimes and I find areas that just have little things in them to discover. It's just one of those worlds that feels alive even when you're done the game. And I think that is the test of a really good open world game. And I love that in games like this. It almost harkens back to some of the good Zelda games. And of course, it's not up to par with Zelda because I'm a Zelda fan, Nintendo fan, but you can see that DNA in the game, that sense of exploration, that sense of a world that exists even without you being in it. Sometimes I'll go back to it and I'll feel like all these characters are doing things even when I'm not there. That's what I really love about this game. Just the upgrading, getting all of the different outfits, and then being able to dye those outfits different colors if you want them to look different ways, upgrading the weapons. I just really fell in love with this game. And of course, graphically, oh my goodness, is it one of the best looking games I've ever seen. Certainly one of the best looking games this generation. So this is one of my personal picks for game of 2022, Horizon Forbidden West. I'm looking so forward to the DLC that's coming that utilizes the PS5 specifically, right? It's exclusive to the PS5. They're going to give us more things to do in this world. Cannot wait for that. But I think that ultimately the best part of a sequel has to do things differently from the original enough. And I think this did more than the original. It took such a big leap forward in terms of graphics. I remember when they showed it for the first time, everyone thought it was a PS5 exclusive game because it looked so good. And then they told us it was going to come to the PlayStation 4. And that's just a testament to how great the developer is. Incredible game. One of my picks for Game of the Year 2022. My next pick is going to be one that I think many people may have not played, and it's Kirby and the Forgotten Land. When I tell you that the amount of polish in this game, now HAL Laboratories, if you're a Nintendo fan, HAL Laboratories never misses when they create with Nintendo, and it is just the best example of a 2.5D platformer that I've ever played. There is so much attention to detail here, and I'm talking about little things like the animation on Kirby, the animation on the characters, the use of color, and the level design. There are at least 7 to 8 ways to get through a level, and that's before you even use Kirby's copy abilities, which add even more depth to each level. It is something that anyone can play from young to old and find something that's incredibly fun. I could not put this down when I played it. Just like the transitions here from, one level to the next, and even the loading screens are done with such care. You can tell that this was really something that they wanted to get right. And I feel like it is almost the best, and I think it is the best example of a 2.5D platformer in 2022. I can't think of another game in that genre that did it so well. Everything that you can do in this game feels like it was put together in a way to make the game just so much better for the player. It is ultimately one of the most fun platformers that I've played this year. And it is just amazing that they can take these old characters and consistently iterate on them. I love this game. Look at the copy ability here and just the ingenious way that the level is designed. So if you copy abilities like this cone, you can ground pound down into the ground like right here, and there are hidden secrets. Now, you don't even have to do that. Sometimes you'll go through the level and you won't even realize that. And then when you go back, there are so many things to see and do, and the collectibles, there's so much to collect. The gameplay is just so much fun. And I promise you, if this just looks like a kiddie game to you and you dismiss it, give it 10 to 15 minutes. It will charm you and you will not want to stop. It harkens back to those 8-bit, to those 16-bit days with 2.5D, 3D graphics. It is just so much fun. This is one of those games that I always try and steer towards more people trying, because I know that there's like a barrier of entry for some people. I always find it interesting that people are, more receptive to like Call of Duty or even something like Halo, but they think stuff like this is just too immature. You're running around as a green space marine shooting purple aliens with purple blood, or pretending to be a marine or an army guy. Somehow that's more mature. But I promise you, that feeling of just discovery and wonder, it's in this game. It has the best of those 8-bit, 16-bit worlds in a 3D environment, and it is just stellar, again, with the amount of ways that you can tackle each of the levels. I really love this game. This is one of those games that I just am so happy that I found this year, and it's something that I'm going to go back to and play over and over and over again. Next up, of course, God of War Ragnarok. What can I say about this game? This is sort of the highest end of video gaming when it comes to cinematic storytelling, character development. I think back to God of War 1, 2, and 3, and Kratos was very one-dimensional. He was just about rage. He was just about, destroying things and trying to get revenge. And this is something that Sony does really well. They take these characters that you don't think have anything else to them, these one-dimensional characters, and they've created a character now with so much depth, and there's so much going on when it comes to Kratos. And really the story of this is, being better than you think you have to be. So all the things you've done in the past don't define you. You can make a choice. You can do what is necessary, not because you feel that it's written or it's your fate. And that is a line that came through from the 2018 version all the way through to this. There's a lot more going on with the gameplay. There's tons more to see and do. There's a lot more to explore. Customization has been sort of grown in a way that feels more organic. It's just incredible. And again, it's that stellar storytelling. There are moments here where you can actually see Kratos trying to fight back tears when he's trying to just rise above who he believes he has to be. And I love the way that they tell this story, and I love the character growth in this game. That's what this is all about. It's a really intimate story in this large world. It's not an open world game per se. You can't really explore anywhere you want. In a sense, I suppose you can say it's linear, but it never really feels like that, because although the world is sort of interconnected in these smaller ways, there's so much to do in these small sections, and the story and the way that it progresses is going to keep you engaged. There's a lot of twists, there's a lot of turns. It is absolutely one of the best games that I've played this year. Last but not least, believe it or not, is Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Now, I just got this game. I just started playing it for a few hours, and I want to tell you, the reason why this is on my list is because I do not like real-time strategy games. I don't like them. And whenever I find a game that presents a genre to me that I know I don't like and I wind up enjoying it, it says something about this game. Now, Mario and Rabbids is a series that's been around for a while. This is the latest one, but the gameplay is so much fun, and it is also incredibly approachable, even for people who don't like this style of game. There is an action-adventure game going on before you get into these battles. There's these large open worlds type scenarios where you can explore, you can collect things, and then when you get into the battle, that's where the strategy comes in. So you have to set your party. You have to pick where you want to attack from. Line of sight is something you have to pay attention to. There are character abilities. Certain characters pair up better together than others, and those pairs have different abilities. and just the way that the game introduces you to the gameplay. You start out sort of small, and then you work your way up to another encounter and another encounter. The tutorial is almost the first hour, but it doesn't feel like it. And by the time you're done, you really get a grasp of how fun and how strategic you can be in this game. Of course, Nintendo had a hand in this. The characters are presented incredibly well. The colors, the animation, it just feels like, again, a fun game to sit down with and enjoy. If you love these characters and you love this world, you're going to have a great time with this. I was shocked at how well this game is put together and how much fun it is. And I think that if you give it a try, you're going to be shocked also. It's just so much fun. And that gameplay is something that completely shocked me. I love putting these parties together, and I love sort of mixing and matching where I'm going to attack from and setting it up strategically. It took a genre that I just wasn't into, and now I can't wait to continue playing it. So this is definitely on my list, one that you're going to want to check out. So what is my pick for 2022's best game? The best game that I picked out of all of these, there's a lot of honorable mentions, but these are the games that I thought of, that I remembered, things that really stuck with me. And I'm going to pick 2 out of these, and then I'm going to tell you which one is my game of 2022. So the 2 that I'm picking are Horizon Forbidden West and Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Now, both of these games are so far opposite of each other, you couldn't get any farther apart, but I think they represent what I always look for when it comes to video games. A really great central character, a great world, great stories, fun and engagement, and that is something that both of these games do incredibly well. I love 2.5D and 3D platformers. I love colorful worlds with lots to do and see, and I like the imagination behind going to a world that I could never go to in real life. Photorealism is great, but I can walk outside and see the world. I want to go somewhere that I could never go, and I want to see things I could never see, and I feel like that's what Kirby and the Forgotten Land delivers on. Now, Horizon Forbidden West is an incredible achievement. It takes an original IP and expands upon it in ways that is absolutely unbelievable. I want to reference the exploration below, above, under the water, the customization, the story, the characters, and just being in a living world. That's what it feels like. And again, the graphics are absolutely incredible. I am in awe going back to this game, taking a break from it, and then going back to it again. It always is just stunning when you look at it. And my pick for the best game that I've played in 2022 is going to be Horizon Forbidden West. It is an incredible game, not to say that the other games that I talked about here aren't worth a pickup and a play, but it is one of the best, if not the best game that I've played in 2022. A runner-up would be God of War, of course, but this open world here and the sense of exploration and freedom that you have, that's what really pulled me in to this game. And of course, that huge leap between the first game and the second game, it almost feels like that leap between the first Uncharted to Uncharted 2 on the same platform. And that's what happened here. The platform being the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5, giving it that little extra graphical touch if you got that version of Horizon Forbidden West on that system. Let me know if you agree with my choice for Game of the Year 2022. All the games I mentioned are stellar. Let me know if you've played them in the comments section below. Think about liking and subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.